$2.2 million for a picture. Doesn't that sound great? That's how much Kylie Jenner earns per Instagram post, according to a July 2019 BBC Newsround article. And even social media influencers who don't have her massive following can still make up to $250,000 per post, according to a November 2018 Vox article. That's an incredible financial opportunity for women and girls because we're known to dominate this industry. However, although Kylie Jenner is the highest paid influencer on Instagram, overall, male social media influencers earn 7% more on average than female influencers, according to a January 2020 Forbes magazine article. It's incredibly disappointing that an industry that was started so recently with a consumer base that's majority women still pays men more than women for the same work. It's the 21st century, and we're still dealing with the pay gap. And social media perpetuates many other inequalities on top of the pay gap. Inequalities like impossible beauty standards, sexist harassment, and misogyny. These issues all exist offline, but they're continued into or exacerbated by social media. So while platforms do aid the fight for gender equality by spreading awareness on important issues, right now, those benefits don't outweigh the costs, and social media hinders the breaking down of barriers for women and girls. Social media hinders young women and girls in particular by flooding our feeds with photoshopped images that encourage us to compare ourselves to impossible beauty standards. According to a survey done by Girl Scouts of the USA in August of 2020, 53% of girls feel social media has worsened their self-image. That's more than half of the girls surveyed, 53%. This does not bode well for the future mental health of young women and girls today. And although I have a pretty positive view of myself, I understood what this survey was talking about when I was researching for this speech. As I was looking at Kylie Jenner's feed for just a little bit, I started to feel a little inadequate. And again, I have a pretty positive view of myself, but I started to feel inadequate. I can't imagine what it must be like for her 211 million followers who are exposed to her content every single time she decides to post. On top of perpetuating impossible ideals for women's bodies, social media companies also fail to protect us from harassment and even bullying. The tragic effects of cyberbullying were seen in 2017 when Rosalie Avila committed suicide after being bullied by classmates near San Bernardino, California. According to an ABC article from December of 2017, among other things, her bullies posted a video online calling her ugly, and it went viral on social media. This was terrible, beyond words, for many different reasons, but in part because social media companies have the power to filter bullying like this, and they choose not to. They also choose not to filter the more everyday, but still harmful, harassment of women and girls. In March of 2018, Amnesty International reported that 33% of women in the US have experienced harassment online. That's 1 in 3 women, 1/3 have experienced harassment online. That's way too high. Especially when you consider that while social media platforms fail to protect women and girls from harassment and bullying, they support misogynist communities by forming echo chambers around them. In these isolated bubbles, toxicity ferments and grows, influencing people like the man who killed 6 women in the 2014 Isla Vista, UC Santa Barbara shooting, according to a Washington Post article from May of that same year. However, these same algorithms and companies that spread hate also spread awareness on important issues in the fight for gender equality. Hashtag activism like the hashtag #MeToo movement undeniably brings a lot of awareness to important issues like workplace harassment. The first ever Women's March in 2017 was actually started and partially organized on Facebook. And organizations like the AAUW, which has its own Facebook and Instagram accounts, can use social media to spread awareness on events, important issues, and connect with members. So, social media can be an incredibly useful tool in the fight for women's rights. But right now, the costs still outweigh the benefits. Social media still perpetuates harmful body image, allows sexist harassment, and reproduces the unsafe conditions women and girls experience offline, online, in the form of misogyny that can even be exacerbated to the point of violence. So, right now, social media hinders the breaking down of barriers for women and girls. But there is hope. If we continue to use social media to spread awareness on important issues and organizations, and we advocate for change in platforms and algorithms to mitigate the damage currently being done by social media, then one day the benefits will outweigh the costs, and social media will finally help, more than hinder, the breaking down of barriers for women and girls.